man. You got up all close to the mic, whatnot.
Yeah, you already know, man, because I want to make sure I sound appropriate.
Sounding good, baby.
Yeah. Yo, all I'm going to say is, man, last night was crazy.
Last night was wild, guys.
What was it? The Asher Ross song? Dang it.
Last night was crazy.
Oh, man, hold on. We got to look at the lyrics. Hold on, got to look at the lyrics. It's crazy because I remember he came out. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, like he's gonna be one of the craziest rappers." That party last night was awfully crazy. I wish we taped it.
I wish we taped it. That's what Asher Roth's words. It's not, bro.
Yeah,
the real bro.
What I'm saying is, last night was crazy, and I love college.
Yes, and we didn't do any of those things yesterday.
Oh, no, we actually just rode around and looked at some big old houses.
Big old joints. I'm talking.
Like Sally Mae money.
I'm talking about cribos, villas, mansions, whatever you want to call them.
MTV cribs up in here.
MTV cribs. I'm talking like your own stable type of homes. You know, you got your own stable, you got your own farm.
Hold on, let's just take the time to like understand. This dude made a song called "I Love College," just about doing all the best. Like, he didn't love college. Like, he just loved to party.
I mean, the way he even said college, I don't think he even actually went to college. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of those people that like say they're going to a school. I remember when I was in high school, right? I'm like, yo, where do you go? I go to VCU. I was like, really? He said, nah, I go to the community college, like JSARS. Like, they would go to community college, which doesn't matter. No knock. Like, I would, if I could reverse back in time, I probably would go there, right? I would advise you to go to community college. But anyway, those are the people that go to community college, but they stay on campus 24/7, just always partying, getting into things, you know? Yeah. And other people like, dude, we trying to study, man. Like, this shit is not easy, bro. This joint is pretty tough, especially coming as a freshman. So, we got some tips today for all the new freshmen out there. About to start school, packing your things, you know, getting ready, giving your mom, you know, kiss on the cheek before you go out there, man, because it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but
there's a lot of things that you need to know before you hop on that college campus.
Because you can find yourself right back at home in one semester. You think we hyping it, but we've seen it.
Bro, half of our friends from our freshman year did not make it within the first semester. That's crazy.
It was the first semester?
Like,
not even the full year, was it?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were gone the first semester.
That is.
I remember at the orientation, they tell you, take a look to your left. Yep. And look to your right. Yep. They will not be here. And they were exactly right, bro. Like, your class starts out with like 8. Well, our school is really small, but like half, maybe even a third of those people that you're there with are gone.
True. And not only that, well, it's kind of a little bit off topic, but yesterday we was on a mission, man. We was looking for that Popeyes chicken sandwich, man, both original and spicy. We went to 2 different Popeyes in 2 different cities, and they were both sold out,
bro.
The one lady's like, you ain't see the sign? Yo, the sign
was facing the opposite door. I was so blown. We sat there for like 20 minutes.
I know, in line, just smiling, drooling.
We about to get them sandwiches.
Get the sandwiches.
And we didn't get the sandwich.
Put on Twitter, disappointment. We had to delete all the posts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We put on Twitter, we're on a mission to find the sandwich in the world. Popeyes chicken.
Yes, we will let you know what's better, Popeyes or Chick-fil-A.
Or you guys let us know what's better, Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. Because I've heard Popeyes, they came with that fire.
Right. Plus, I don't think I can go on a mission like that next time.
Yeah, bro. What? Nah. I'm just going to be late to the party. I'll see y'all next week.
But anyway, let's go ahead and kick this thing off, brother, man. Jabril, let's go ahead and get the... Oh, yeah. That's the nice stretch. People going to be in their car heading to work and do whatever they need. Let's get it going, my friend.
Loosen up, because this is about to be a wild ride down Collegeville.
Yes, shout out.
Give me
to all students, baby. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jabril Salam
and Muhammad Hassan,
and you are listening to the Young and Musilm podcast.
Asalaamu Alakum, everybody.
Yo, I actually remember to do it.
Good. That's accountability.
Yeah, right.
You said you're going to do it, and now you have done it.
I got to fulfill my promise to the people. All right, everybody. So, yes, we are going to be talking about college today. We're going to be talking about the top 10 tips that we give or have for our freshman Muslims who are going into their first year. Obviously, I guess, you know that with it being freshman, but people that are going into their freshman year of college, whether it's a big university, whether it's a small university like what we went to, it's just important to understand that there are rules to this game.
Yes.
And if you want to survive, if you don't want to fall into the harami lifestyle, there's certain things that you need to know before you get there.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people are starting to move on to campus now.
Like, I was just about to say
the week that they're going on campus.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's funny because I was like, oh, we give advice on whether you guys should commute or stay on campus, but that decision has already been made. At this point. So whether you're commuting or you're staying on campus, we wish you the best of luck, because this is going to be a journey of a lifetime that you may not forget. And I'm sure some people, if they didn't make it, they definitely ain't going to forget it. So, so these top 10 tips aren't only for Muslim college students, primarily focused, but even if you're not Muslim, these are stuff that you can take right away and implement into your first semester. So don't be discouraged. It's for everybody, but specifically, this stuff is going to relate to majority of Muslims. All right. So number 1, and this is in no specific order, okay? Be prepared to have a non-Muslim roommate. Jabril and I both went to a Methodist college, so the chances of us having a Muslim roommate was very slim, especially because we didn't know each other, so we weren't expecting it either.
It was just me and it was you. and I think the only other Muslim was Ashley is the girl who she graduated.
She was older, right?
Yeah, she was older. So she graduated as soon as I got to high school. So I was a freshman in high school, and she was on her way out. And then when I got to Wesleyan, she was on her way out. So
same thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So Khadija, shout out to you. You're a beast. So
having a non-Muslim roommate, for me, my experience was weird because I think everything happens when the whole families meet together. So, for example, when you move in on the first day orientation, you have your whole family comes, they drop you off. If you have a big family, family comes with you, right? If it's just you, then it's a different story. But anyway, when I was in college, my first year, my whole family was there. They helped me move in. My mom, was covered up. My sister was covered up. My dad had a suit on, and then my roommate was Caucasian. Shout out to my boy Warren G. Yeah, that's just Warren. Good. What up, Warren? Long time. But anyway, when we were there, he's from Harrisonburg, and he's never even met a black person. That was crazy. The darkest person he met, they do a Samoan. What was it, dude? How dark was he? He was mulatto. He like, dude,
bro, you can't use mulatto no more, bro. Oh my god. Bro, hold on, no, we're going. Hold up.
So what's the correct term?
You cannot use mulatto in the public setting. That's racist.
It's forbidden.
That's forbidden, bro. You can't use mulatto. You can't say mulatto, bro.
Was it okay? Was he mixed?
Yeah, I think that's more appropriate. I'm pretty sure that's more appropriate than mulatto. If I ever walked up to a light-skinned person yo, you mulatto, bro, they're going to punch you in the face. I might punch you in the face. I'm still debating it.
What up, light skin? Okay, got it. But anyway, he shows a picture of his light-skinned friend, and he had dread, but he wasn't even close to being black. But anyway,
no. Look, and we're not going to disrespect my man's.
Yeah, no.
He was, look. If my man says he's black, he's black. I think what Mo's trying to say is, let me come in and save you, bro. What Mo's trying to say is, this dude had African ancestry in his bloodline, but we don't know how strong that connection was.
Jabril come in with the
I'm saving
politically correct.
No, it ain't politically correct.
I'm usually saving him, but now he saves me.
Yeah, I'm chilling this episode. Right? I'm gonna let you say all the wild stuff this episode.
No. But anyway, when we first met, so he had not only encountered with a black person, he never encountered with anybody else outside of his faith. So when we were there, our alarms went off, and you just saw his alarm for prayers. You can see his face was just freaking puzzled, scared, terrified. He's like, dude, this is the first time I even met with Muslims, and this was what 2000.
This is 2010.
2010.
Our freshman year was 2010. Bro,
okay,
almost a decade.
So
bro,
even though 9/11 was 9 years after, I think it was still fresh, because it was still because those 9 years, 10 years, the narrative of Muslims still didn't change.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
It's just changing now. And we're almost
good point.
18 years out. But anyway, we're not going down that rabbit hole. But anyway, so after he did that, he told me after my parents left, and we sat down, we started talking. He's like, dude, it's my first time ever meeting a Muslim person. I really thought that you guys had a bond with you. My parents were terrified. They were really scared for my safety.
Yeah,
I was
crazy.
Oh my God, I was scared of you.
That's what. Don't get it twisted. All the black people were like, oh my
Exactly. I
God.
was scared of you. I am a minority here, bro. What you guys scared of is just me here, bro.
Bro, that was not only were we the only two Muslims, but we were one of like 10 black people on the whole campus.
Yeah, so that's what exactly.
Our freshman year was crazy
You're
because
talking about a tough experience, bro.
yeah, like our freshman year was wild because same thing for you. Like my roommate, because we lived down the hall from each other, and my roommate, I remember moving in, same deal, right? But his people were cool because like we came from the same area, so
from the same city,
pretty sure he knew Muslims or at least like experienced one. I didn't have my prayer alarm go off or anything like that, but I think we had to get used to the idea that we came from very different backgrounds.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude was pulling in like fridges, like the lifestyle that we lived and you see how I live.
Yeah.
We live totally different.
Yeah.
So it was just that adjustment, you know what I'm saying? Not just to having a non-Muslim roommate, but having a roommate in general. Like you go your whole life living either with a sibling or someone
a good point.
Living with people that are more like you.
That understand you. You know what I'm saying?
Or look like you, whatever it is. And then you go and live with someone that you never met that can be completely different than you. So, I think for freshmen moving in, you have to be open-minded and you have to listen to your roommate. You know what I'm saying? Like get to know your roommate, hang out with your roommate.
A lot. Like if I were you, I would try to be roommates. I would try to be friends with your roommates because that's the person that's gonna be protecting your room. If something happens to you, they're gonna look out for you. You know what I mean? Hey, look, something happened. I can't come today. Can you lock my door? Can you go grab my shoes? Can you do those different things? I would
actually encourage, even if you're going to a school where there's a lot of Muslims, I would encourage you to have a non-Muslim roommate.
Because that's how the dialogue even started. Because if I had a Muslim roommate, we would have done a lot of things together, but I would never have learned more about another faith, right? Another city, something totally different.
Because for nothing, you came from a similar background to Warren, where you went to school with a lot of Muslims, and you went to school with non-Muslims, but you were always surrounded by Muslims. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Where me,
so I grew. Like he helped me grow.
Yeah, and me, I wasn't, but I was still strong in my faith because I was in a community of Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of school. So like for you and him, it was like both y'all came from settings where y'all knew what y'all knew. Yeah, I always say, you know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's important for you to be able to kind of break those barriers because they always, we need interfaith dialogue. It starts, like you said, with your first roommate. Yep. And if you're always engaged with just Muslims, it kind of diminishes the impact that having non-Muslim friends can have. Exactly. I'm sure we just killed that one. Yeah, that was good. We just killed that one. On to the next one. But that was like souffle. All right, so this one right here, this is a hack. This is probably a hack. I think this is probably my favorite rule of all of them. I think that this is number 2, everybody. I think this rule is the most important, and especially when we went to Wesleyan, we went to college during Ramadan, and everybody knows that during Ramadan, obviously you're not eating, but you still need to take food because the cafeteria is closing. And if you're, many college campuses, you get swipes. You get swipes. So like you're not able to use the swipes if you're not eating during the day. So you gotta know how to finesse, and you gotta know who to talk to help you finesse. And so your best friend going through college isn't going to be your roommate. Nah. Isn't going to be the Muslim next to you. Nah. It's going to be the cafeteria lady. What up? Real talk. Shout out Miss Paulie. Shout out. We love y'all. Hey. Shout out to all the cafeteria workers, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man John, you know what I'm saying, out there with the pizza. Right, John. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rude Boy. Yeah, shout out to everybody that looked out for us that worked in the caf because y'all held it down for us all 4 years. All 4 years. And the reason why Jabril said it's so important is that schools, just like our school, they give you about a certain amount of swipes per day, right? It's fixed, 3 per day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Then you have other schools like VC where you don't have a fixed swipe per day, but you have it per semester, and when you start eating a whole bunch of times, them joints run out quick. And we didn't have like access to like Subway, McDonald's, Taco Bell, different restaurants, and we get like half off. And no, we just had one cafeteria. So if you had no more swipes left, you were not eating, and there was nothing they could do about it unless you legitimately paid $10-11 for every single meal. But anyway, so what we used to do, the cafeteria ladies, we weren't intentionally going out trying to seek their friendship for food. That's not how it was. No. We legitimately became good friends with them. They, they check up on us. Even after we graduate, go back and see how they're doing. But they legitimately already knew what it was. Like, we would come in just defeated. Like, we ain't got no more swipes. They look at us like,
man, just keep walking. But somebody else, I ain't got no more swipes. You better call your mama.
Right.
Call your parents and put some food in.
Nah, and like you said, I think the most important thing is for Muslims to keep that Muslim character.
Yes.
Like I always talk about,
Yes.
when you meet somebody, greet them with a smile and like having that same energy with everybody that you meet, right? Especially especially like the cleaning people, especially the cafeteria people, the people that are doing the jobs that you see behind the scenes. Yo, be friends with those people, be kind to those people, because those are the people that when you really are down and out, when you have no money, when you have no sustenance for your body, you know what I'm saying? Those are going to be the ones that are looking out for you, that are really going to try to help you. Because you remember Miss Gloria, Miss Gloria looked out big time, multiple times.
If you think about it, those people working those jobs, typically, depending on where you're at, are usually immigrants or black people. Everybody that worked in art, they were African. They were African American. And John was obviously Jamaican. So these are jobs that your parents may hold. You know what I mean? These are jobs
that you might know.
People that you may know. So if you, just because you're in college, to treat them some sort of way, that is not the Muslim way whatsoever. So
yeah, buddy.
Yes. And you can ask them if anything's pork.
Well, no, and that's the other.
Like, what's in the food? Because sometimes you will not. They won't tell you. You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh, this. So you really have to go out the way and be like, what is in here? Don't be lazy.
Well, it got to the point for us. It got to the point for us that once they knew who we were,
it was a wrap.
Don't
remember. It was like, don't get a sub. It's pork. Come back this way.
Like, they'll have the special days, and you begin. I remember one time I got in line. I was waiting because the line get long. You were sitting there waiting in line. You get to the door, you're like, Playboy, it's pork. You're like, bro, why'd you tell me? But after a while,
you don't want this ham.
After a while, like, they actually let you know well before, they're like, no, this is just pork over here, bro.
Or they'll make an alternative just for you.
Yeah, exactly. They start looking out for you. So that's why I say it's important to go into college still holding your Muslim demeanor. Like, don't think that people won't try and actually look out for you, because they will if you keep your same energy.
See, that's a great point, bro. Especially here in America. I haven't lived in any other country, but I honestly do not believe that I can go to another country and be like, dude, I can't eat this. Do you have any other options? And be like, dude, then order something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, here, they legitimately go out the way. I know you can't eat pork. Well, we have this vegan option. We have this, with this turkey sausage option. They really bend over backwards, bro, to make sure you're okay. So for you to be like, yeah, it's hard. I'm not at a Muslim school, and to find halal food or stuff that's not pork, that's hard. It's not hard, bro. You just got to try.
Halal's a little bit different. I had to tell this one kid, we were at this camp. He was like, oh, like, because we were talking about like turkey bacon. He was like, oh, is it halal? I was like, no. He was like, well, why are you eating it? I was like, bro, because not everybody's privileged. Like, so for some of you guys that are coming from areas where like there's a lot of halal restaurants, things like that, you might go to a school where there's no halal anything.
Like, not even close.
Yeah. Like, and you're going to have to really fight for simple things like turkey bacon or like turkey sausage. Make sure that you don't go in there with this high expectation of, oh, like I deserve to have this or I need this. But you have to be thankful for what you can actually get out of that situation, because you aren't going to be able to have the same amenities that you had beforehand when you were at home.
Yeah, you're not home anymore. True.
So your expectations have to change. Always keep a friendly demeanor. Make friends. Win friends and influence people. Yeah. That's an important book. That's a very important book, right?
Dale Carnegie?
Yeah, Dale Carnegie. But what I realized about that book is that a lot of what we learn in Islam is to win friends and influence people through having great manners. So make sure you guys go in with amazing manners and make friends with the people who really matter.
Good point. And if you're really gung-ho about the halal option, go ahead and fight for it, Start a committee or do something.
What I will say about this, we talk about primarily the CAF workers, but I will say the cleaning ladies are also people who you want to make friends with. Yes. Like, I can think of so many, man, what? No. And like to this day, if I go back to the school and I see them, it's like I'm seeing like my aunts and people, saying, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Because those are people who will vouch for you if you ever got in trouble. Or if you, like, bro, I mean, for now we got in trouble quite a lot in school. But like those are the people that were like looking out for you.
Or they'll be like, yo, those are great kids, and they'll be in those meetings, you know what I mean? Like those staff meetings, like, oh, I know those kids are always in the library. They may be a little, cause a little trouble, but they're good people. Come from good families.
So you always want to make sure, even when you're not doing the best, you're always showing your best character to the people.
That's a good foreign life.
All right. Yeah, right.
All right. So going to Friday prayers. This one, staying on. Well, let's talk about Friday prayers first, and then kind of go into like staying on top of your Islam and keep maintaining your iman and growing your iman. So Friday prayers is hard, especially for us because we went to school that had no Friday prayers. So it was easy to be like,
we just won't do it.
Yeah, there is no Friday
We
prayers
won't
on campus. I'll just probably pray to go back to my room. Oh, we can go to the masjid. Yeah, but the nearest masjid is what? How far was the journey?
It's 30
minutes
away.
35 minutes. Nah, that's too far of a drive. And I know, obviously, some people will be committed to make that drive, but we were like, we had to just change something because we had no wheels.
Well, you know,
right? No, actually,
I had wheels, but my pops was like, hey, make prayer where you at. Don't come here.
Yeah, shout out to your pops. He made his man up. You know what I mean?
He really did.
We could have found some excuses. He was like,
no, don't come. Because that's what we were doing at first. We were driving out to go to Jummah. It was a struggle because you would get out of class at, say, 1 o'clock, and then you're trying to rush all the way to go to prayers.
I'm glad you brought that up. Class is a good point because classes do end around like 1 or 2. So good point.
On a Friday, classes.
Can you go on the classes? Like, what type of recommendation do you have? And then you can finish the story with your pops. Like, what if people finish class at 2? Like, what can they do, you know?
You should be able to dictate what your schedule is. So if you know you got Friday prayers, you know you're Muslim, bro, make sure you keep that space open. It's our obligation. Yes. This ain't no play. Like it's mandated for us to go to Friday prayers. This for the men, this for the women, this for everybody. So make sure you schedule your classes around prayer, not prayer around your classes. Now, there's a difference.
That's why I teed you up. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. You're right, by the classes. Yep.
Cool. High five. So there's a limit to that. So, for instance, you're going to have night classes. You're not going to be able to schedule everything around prayer, right? And I don't recommend leaving. Like, just make all your prayer after class. However, Friday prayer is a little bit different because of how classes are scheduled around Friday. Usually they end a little bit earlier, so you should be able to schedule your class so that I can make it a Friday prayer. Now, if you're in a situation like us where there weren't Friday prayers, you're going to have to do 2 things. You're either going to have to, 1, do it yourself, or 2, you're going to have to find a masjid that's nearby that you can actually go to.
I think those are the only 2 options.
Yeah.
Either you create it or you join another community. I think that's about it.
But I think that actually leads into one of the other tips, which is no MSA, no problem. You're going to have to create one.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I know it's further down the list, but I feel like they come in together. There was no MSA when we came there.
The things that it doesn't have to be an MSA specifically. I think that's what the problem is. Like, people look for like MSAs. You can I remember at our school, there was like this like an interfaith program, right, in Greg West's office. So even just hanging out with, like, you might not have any man, but hanging out with the chaplain over there, they do different things like the community would do. Like, they go on mission trips, they hang out, you know what I mean? They pray together, they do a whole bunch of things. So if there's no MSAs, just go hang out. You can hang out with them or hang out with your regular friends or create something, like any type of group. You feel me? It can be a women's group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you want like a religious group,
specific,
I guess that goes into number 4, which is having interfaith dialogue. So when we were in college, there wasn't an MSA, there was no Muslim society at all. So having to create that environment meant that we had to stick with each other primarily.
Yeah.
But it also meant that we had to seek outside help from our Christian brothers and sisters. And shout out to Pastor Greg West, Chaplain Greg West.
Shout out.
A matter of fact, chaplain doesn't specify that you have a religious.
We just learned that, yeah. Like a religious, you talking about like a religious like background? Is that what you mean?
No. It doesn't. I'm not gonna say religious background. It doesn't mean that you have one religious segment. Like you are a spiritual advisor, so regardless of religious affiliation.
A chaplain isn't tied to anything. It's just.
A chaplain can be Muslim, it can be Jewish, it can be Hindu. A chaplain is someone who is more of a spiritual guide for people who need that help.
Got it.
So Chaplain Greg West, he wasn't just for Christians, he was for anybody that was dealing with their spirituality.
And thank God for that.
Right?
Thank God for that.
And what's amazing is that he came in the same year as us. So
same, right? SubhanAllah.
And he was amazing. He's the one that helped us establish Friday prayers. He allowed us to establish Friday prayers in the church. Right? And without him, a lot of things that we were trying to do wouldn't have come to fruition
at all.
So that interfaith dialogue was vital during the college years because we didn't have any other Muslims. We just had one another. And even if you are in a school where there are plenty of Muslims, it's important for you to be able to engage with your brothers and sisters of different faiths.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to need their help when it comes to certain events or when it comes to certain causes. You're going to want to have more numbers of people that believe in the God and the last day.
Absolutely. And not only that, a lot of people that you meet, this is their first time ever meeting a Muslim. So when you have the interfaith dialogue, it changes the narrative. Then they're like, oh, Muslims are actually cool. Then they're like, oh, dang, Muslims are dope. Then they're like, dude, Muslims are the best. That's legitimately what happens. So try, man. Like, legitimately try and just to get out your comfort zone, man. I don't think college is a place for you just to go and just chill, man.
Absolutely.
I think it is the best place. I think it's one of the best training grounds to go out, figure who you are, try different things, and actually be pretty safe. You know what I mean? Because everybody,
you can make a lot of mistakes.
You can make a lot of mistakes, and you're surrounded by security. You're surrounded by people that know you, that want to protect you, that want to see you do well. Because after you get out them doors and you graduate,
college isn't real life.
No, it's not real life.
College is a place for you to experiment and test out parts of your personality.
College is an experiment. You got people like college is like a big experiment, So like there's other people watching. It's a social experiment, That's very expensive.
I don't even think it's worth it, to be honest. I mean, hey,
right.
But to go into all that. We talk about how it's a social experiment. You're experimenting with people of different faiths, people of different backgrounds, people who don't believe.
Yeah, oh yeah.
People
a lot of those.
who engage in actions that are completely different from anything you've done. People are drinking. People are in drugs. People are into.
Yeah, we'll go into that too, like in detail, because some things.
They're into like
definitely.
You're going to be surrounded by a lot of that stuff, and it's important. It's vital. That you don't go into it judging people.
Yeah.
That you don't go into it thinking that you're better than anybody. Because you have to understand where certain people are coming from. That's why we say it's so important to talk to your roommates. So important to talk to the people that you're around. Because you get to know them a little bit. I remember there was this guy. His name was James. I'm not going to put his last name out. But my man used to smoke sick. He used to smoke like a pack a day. You remember my man? He used to drink and smoke. And I'm like, bro, you're 18. Like, this is crazy. I've never been around somebody like that before. But I never judged him. I actually got to know him. He was a very cool guy. He was
a very good dude. He was a really good-hearted dude, bro. So, but not only that. Like, if you would have judged him, more than likely you would not become his friend. And if you judge everybody in college, not many people are gonna be hanging out with you. And everybody's here for almost a similar experience. Like, they're here for something new. They're looking to make new friends. Like, people in college are kind of eager because they're like, I'm away from home. But even though I'm away from home, I want to feel like I'm still at home, And friends do make that easier because you'll get to the point if you start judging everybody and you're not feeling it, you'll go home every single weekend or like you'll really miss out on the college experience. You know what I'm saying? So don't judge. Get to know the people because I've seen people judge and then a few months later they're on the other side doing the same thing. So
exactly because you're in college, it's so easy for you to fall into the same pitfalls that everyone else falls into, the drinking, the smoking, and everything else.
Them about
exactly. So don't judge. All right.
Try to understand. Maybe try to understand like
exactly, or find your tribe.
Or find your tribe. Yeah.
We're a little bit different.
Because we kind of created our own.
We created our own tribe.
Tribe within
now,
Eggleston gang.
Take this with a grain of salt. We weren't in the we weren't the best Muslim examples during those times. However, the one thing I will say is that our character remained consistent. Our character remained consistent even if our actions weren't consistent. I'm not saying follow our lead on that. No. I'm not saying follow our lead.
That's true.
But what I am saying is you can't judge it until I'm not gonna say you can't judge until you try it. But don't judge people based off of what they're doing. Judge them based on their character. And like one of our best friends coming out of college, he actually got into severe drug addiction. Severe. And to this day, one of the best people I know, he's just struggling with something that's completely different. And you can't judge it. Oh. Like, yeah, we might joke about it here and there, but at the same time, may Allah guide this dude. May Allah help this man, because he's a very good person. One of the best people I know.
And even before he came, he didn't do any of those things. So people are like, oh yeah, that must be a long track record. It was not.
He didn't do none of that.
He didn't do not even.
Straight edge.
Straight edge, my man. Clean as a whistle. But I'm not saying it doesn't take much, but it's a little bit easier than you think.
But people are going through stuff. People go through stuff. College is a place where you may be going through stuff about being in a new environment, not being around your same friends, and you're trying to really figure out who you are in a new environment. This is, as we said, this is a place where you have the opportunity to test out different parts of your own personality to figure out what type of person am I. Am I a good person? Am I a bad person? Am I a popular person? Am I a low key person? You're trying to figure out all the different sides of who you are, and you can't do that if you're consistently judging the people around you, because you may very well have the same qualities as those people. Yes,
but you may be putting up a front. You know what I mean? And that's our next point. Do not put a front. Just be who you are, because if you come in and you're gonna attract those individuals that like you. But if you put up a front that you're trying to build up, then you're gonna attract the wrong people.
What did Mustafa say? Remember the episode with the Barracuda Boys? Mustafa said, your vibe attracts your tribe. Yep. So when you go into college, be you.
Just be you.
And let the people that love you come to you.
They will find you. But if you try to put up a front like you're this person that you're not, you're going to find those people that you're trying to be. It's not going to be what you thought.
It's like my mom said when I first went to college, for my favorite movie of all time, Lion King, remember who you are. Remember.
And on that note, no.
But it's true though. It's true. You got to remember who you are, where you came from, and you can't forget that, because your upbringing, that first 18 years of your life are who you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that's exactly who you are, because during the 4 years or however long you're in college, you find out a lot more about yourself away from home.
Yes.
But you can't neglect the fact that those first 18 years were vital to creating.
That's true.
That this person that you've become.
You have something to offer. Don't hide it. Be all you.
Agreed. So keep it real 100% of the time. Grow. Don't be scared to grow. Don't judge yourself.
Push yourself.
You know, in acting, when you're portraying a character, they tell you don't judge the character, because
just be the character.
Not so much just be the character. You don't judge the character, because your job as an actor is to understand and empathize and sympathize with the character in their situation. You have to come from a place of understanding so that you can properly emulate where this person is coming from. It's all about perspective. So same thing in college. Not saying you're trying to act like somebody else, but you are trying to understand who these people are, where they come from, why they act the way they act. And you, as Mo said, you may very well get into the same exact thing. The last thing you want to be doing is holding up a front like you're better than someone, because you may very well end up being the same person. Like, oh my God, I can't believe, look at these people partying. I remember people like that. Look at these people partying. Then the next year, sophomore year, these people, the everybody chug. You're like, yo.
They're the ones that you don't even want to invite into the party.
Yo, Sally is tripping. Yo, what happened to her over the summer?
Right. Right.
Shorty is tripping.
And then they take those traits with them back home. All right.
So don't judge. Don't put up a front
at all.
And don't look down. Look, you're going to go to school with Muslims who don't smoke, don't drink, do smoke, do drink, do have sex, don't have sex.
In a relationship, not in a relationship. All right.
And you have to understand that. I'm not going to say you have to accept it.
No.
I'm not going to say that you should just be like, oh, it's all happy-go-lucky. But it happens. We're just here to tell you what you're going to see. You're going to see it. Don't be surprised by it, is what we're saying. Don't be surprised by it. Now, haram relationships, holy crap.
I mean, this is important, especially like if parents are listening. Like, stuff like that is out there. We're not telling you don't send your kids out to college because they can have a relationship at home.
But they have to understand. They have to understand what's going to be in the surroundings, what's going to be in the environment.
Absolutely. But also, don't think that because the haram relationships exist in college that you need to hurry up and rush your kids into getting married before they go to college.
Ooh, good point.
You know, because I think that's important, because for a lot of, especially immigrants, especially for their daughters, they think that, dang, all right, my daughter's 17, 18. She's about to go to college now and stay on campus. There's going to be so many guys. She's going to be tempted. And I side with parents when it comes to this point. Guys and girls are finessers. You know what I mean? So if they're not, doesn't matter how strong they are, they can be tempted. You know what I'm saying? They can be tempted and they can be finessed. So it doesn't matter who it is. I've been finessed. Bro, I've been finessed. Like, you are not unrestricted from the finesse.
Exactly. We're just like regular people out here.
But to just throw your daughter and your son in a marriage just so they can protect themselves in college, is that going to help them? They're going to be off away at college. The wife's going to be at home. More than likely, they may just cheat on the wife. They're going to go through stress. They don't know what's going on. It's too much. Like, college is a lot, you know? So for you to...
I can't comment on none of that.
Like, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but, like, that's what people do. So, like, I don't think that is the best solution. But what is a good solution is to understand with your kids, talk with your kids, see who they're hanging around with. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even for us, like, we had our crew, but then every once in a while we had some girls that played soccer that we met up with, right? Some girls that we studied with, some girls that, so we had different groups. So I think we had friends. So as parents, you have to do a good job of talking with your kids and see who they're hanging out with, see what type of activities that they're doing.
But
you know,
I'm not gonna say that's not realistic.
No, I mean it's hard work. It is realistic, but it's hard work, man. Do all that.
I don't think so.
You know,
I disagree. How many times were you like, hey, Dad, I'm hanging out with X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, and they're gonna be like, who's that?
No. How many times did you personally get on the phone with your pops and he was like, yo, how's everything? Cool, yeah, mate. You didn't tell your pops about none of your friends.
No, except you and Los. I mean, just the core ones.
The core friends.
The core friends.
Cool. But you didn't tell them about, oh, I'm hanging out with this person or I went. Like,
that's true.
You're not being completely open in college. So for college kids, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, be completely open. It's not going to happen. However,
I think I was talking to the parents just to be more. That's for the parents.
Okay, it's for the parents.
Yeah, for the
cool.
Parents.
Well,
because the kids ain't gonna tell you that. That's what I'm saying. The kid's not gonna tell you that. That's the only reason why I say it.
Got you.
You're right. That's I agree with you.
I see what you're saying.
As a kid, what do you do?
I think as a kid, you do have to try. If you're, granted, we're coming from a perspective of not having a lot of Muslims around us. If you are in a situation where you have a lot of Muslims around you, it's best for you to try and stick to those friends when you feel as though, I'm not going to say when you feel like you're shaky. Like, try and keep your Muslim friends, but don't just stay in one tribe. This is your time to get to know different people in different areas and different lifestyles and things like that. Try and be what's it called? Try and be a Renaissance man. Try and be a Renaissance man. Be able to go into a room and be able to connect with people.
Boom.
This is what college is about. How can you, because it translates to the real world. That is the social aspect of college is the only thing that translates to the real world. That is it. And
responsibility.
No.
Because you gotta be on class. You gotta be. Nobody's gonna wake you up for class. There's no school bus. That's what I meant. Like being on time, getting things done, deadlines.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would say. But I see what the social aspect is right. Because in high school, you can go in and out of high school and not talk to nobody.
Yeah. In
college, you can't do that because you will fail if you have a group presentation. You're not interacting with nobody. We've seen that.
That's true. That's true.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
That's true. So I think that's important. Now, when we talk about haram relationships, specifically, when we talk about that specifically, it isn't just about like boyfriend, girlfriend. It's even about the friends that you have. You're going to have friends that do X, Y, and Z. We talked about that.
Such as having.
So does that mean that you can't hang out with them? I'm not gonna say no, because if we judge half of our friends, like we wouldn't be friends with them now, and those are very good people. You don't know who people are going to turn into going forward.
But not only that, so in college you're gonna see three different type of relationships, right? One where you're just single and mingle, like single and ready to mingle, just trying to connect with everybody, see who's out there, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is that you have those individuals that met up on the first day and they're acting like husband and wife. You know what I mean? You're gonna have those, and they're gonna do everything together, and you're gonna wish you had that. But trust me, it's not as fun as it looks. It's not as dreamy, right? Get up early.
My man Mo was on the sidelines like J. Cole.
Getting a sideline story. Getting up early, eating breakfast together, going to the gym together, studying together. You know, you see them things. I'm like, yo, y'all just met 3 weeks ago. But anyway, so you're gonna see that, and then the third relationship, and this happens a lot, just being realistic, is the people that just go out there and just have casual sex. You know what I'm saying?
The weekend couple.
The weekend couples. You know, you got your few. You know, you pick them up on the weekend. But as a Muslim, like Jabril was saying, find that group that if you find yourself in any of those situations, you come back to home base, which is those friends.
You come back to yourself.
And they don't have to be Muslims, you know what I mean? But it can be that strong interfaith group that you were talking about, or it can be your homie, like, man, things are getting hectic right now, man. Let's just link up. Let's just go watch a game or something. Let's just go off campus. Let's find an activity to do, you know? But
so
easier
I think,
said than done.
I think this goes into the next rule, which is have your fun but stay focused. So now we're getting into like the party lifestyle. We're getting into that part of college where it's easy to get sucked into. Yo, we're going out Friday. Like, yo, let's.
This is every day. We knew people that partied every single day,
bro. But
it's not just the weekends.
And they didn't make it past first semester,
exactly.
Bro, do you remember
Monday night?
You remember our freshman. You remember Chance and all of them?
Oh my
bro,
God.
They were drinking. Leslie, you remember all of them? Yeah. Bro, they drink, and I remember they were actually like keeping like a scoreboard. They had like they're like, yo, I've been drunk. You remember? They're like, I've been drunk for 2 months straight, 60 days. I remember they were like, yeah, it's been 63 days. Yeah. I've been drinking for 6. We're like, bro, have you been going to class? F class, like,
we're coming to class drunk.
Yeah, go to class, bro. I was so drunk in class. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And these are the dudes that barely graduated or like were gone within the first few months. And a lot of times these are the people that are playing sports, and you're thinking like, bro, how? How? You know the Kanye meme? How?
How, Sway? How? You don't have to answer, Sway.
How are you going to class?
Nah, but that's true though, bro. That is true, man. So you're gonna see that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see that. The biggest thing I would say is just say no. You know what I mean? Hey, dude, this is a big party test. Nah, man, I can't study. Man, stop being a punk. Nah, man, it's a big test. People are going to push you in college.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to have people push you to the edge because sometimes you don't have your homies over there to save you. It might just be you. You know what I mean? So you just got to stick to your guns and be like, nah, man, you know what? Can't do it. I can't. So
what do you do if you are into the party scene?
Oh, so if you're on the other side and you're pushing people, like you're on the other side.
Not saying you're pushing people, but like you find yourself at first,
you're
like, nah, I don't get into all of that, but you're in the circumstance where now you went from this person that was like, nah, I don't do that, to it is what it is, I'll try it, to yo, I do this. Like that's part of your routine. You used to say, nah, on Friday I'm actually gonna go just hang out with these people and play Uno, but that gets old. Oh, I'm gonna play games, that gets old. I'm gonna play video games, that gets old. And now you're like, bro, I'm trying to go out here and party, have a good time. And like, what is your advice for those kids that eventually get into that lifestyle? And what's your advice? What's your advice for that?
For that also, there's also 3 different type of people when it comes to stuff like that, right?
My man got a chart broken down.
The 3 different type of people is that the first type that's already did that stuff before they came to college, right? And those people, you know, personally, I think they're a little bit ahead because they understand what that stuff will lead them to, or they had like a cousin or uncle kind of kick them game, like, you know what, kind of like what we're doing. You're gonna see those things, so they peep game. They might have done those things. Like I know some people that like, some people said they used to drink at home. I'm like, dude, you're 18. You know what I mean? Oh, I've been drinking since I'm 15. Oh, you got drunk? No, we would casually have like a beer or sip. But he said, but now I understand that my parents never get drunk. They may have like a glass of wine at dinner and stuff like that. So they understand that getting a whole wine bottle and chugging it, it's not fun. It's not healthy, right? You got those people. Or it might not be fun for them.
It's not. It was fun. It's fun for me, but not for all y'all around me. Be careful.
So those are the first type people. Then you have the other type of people that never, ever, ever did any of this before. Never even had access to it.
Those are the most dangerous people.
That's what
those are the most dangerous.
Those are the most dangerous, especially when they get into it, because it's like a dam. The floodgates have been opened. You know what I mean? They release the water, and that the water keeps flooding, and still the dam goes up and closes it. But sometimes that joint does not. I
didn't understand that analogy, but keep going.
Well, you got a dam, you can control the water flow, bro.
Okay, got you. I'll just
the floodgates go down. It is just so much for them because they might have been sheltered, they might have been blocked off from everything.
Bro,
that's why you got
sheltered people. This is for parents.
You got to
stop sheltering your kids
because the world won't do it. When they go out there, the world is
going to get exposed
in different ways and slap them around. So those are the most dangerous because they don't know what to expect. They don't know how to control themselves. They don't know what to do to get away from this stuff. You know what I benefited
from?
They hop in. You feel me?
I benefited from having family members who were non-Muslim that would drink.
That's what
I would see them drunk.
So you were the first thing. You got hip. You know,
I experienced it, so I benefited from that because I knew slightly Because I never done it, but I knew, like, I was around it, so it wasn't weird for me. And when I experienced it, it was different. But I went to high school with people that were partying, getting drunk, and stuff like that. But nothing compares to when you get on that campus and somebody's like, "Yo, here's a shot."
Yeah,
it's a totally different experience.
Oh, just say no. Well, you have 20 of your homies next to you. Everybody's hype, and if you don't take that shot, they're all gonna get on your back, call you a punk, and everything. Like,
peer pressure is real.
Yes, exactly.
This is why what Mo said before, having a group, your grounded group that you can always run back to is important. Yep. Granted, I would advise try and stay in that group and do activities with that group.
And that was the last group of people, were those individuals that maybe never done it and they know about it and still decide not to do it. But
kudos to you guys.
I honestly believe that you cannot do that by yourself.
No, you can't.
If you go out every single weekend, you're with those people. Nah, I got it. I'm gonna be strong by myself. It's only a matter of time until. It's only a matter of time.
And it's even hard just for us two. It was difficult because we weren't always together.
Exactly. You had friends. I had some other friends. You had different classes. I had different classes. You know what I mean? We had different schedules.
And that's why. So we talked about earlier. No MSA, no problem. Create one. For us, that was difficult because it was just us two.
Yeah, and we got the president and the vice president.
Exactly. And on top of that,
thank you.
Here's my running mate. Look, then next year we switch. I'm running for president. Vote for me. Who you voting for, man? I don't know. It's a tough race. It's a tough race, bro. I don't know. It's important for you to, as we said before, find that group. However, if you're in a big school where there's a lot of Muslims, yeah, you can do that. For us, I don't think that was. I don't say it wasn't doable, but it was hard, bro. It was hard, and I see why parents are like, oh, like, don't stay on campus. However, going through those experiences were important for me. Like, I couldn't have lived off campus.
I mean, to be honest with you, your kids can still get hit with it if they don't live on campus. Because guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna commute, right? Then they're gonna go on the weekend. They're gonna go on campus. They're gonna spend the night at somebody else's house and do the same thing. Come back home. So it's not inevitable. You know. Be honest with you.
I gotta say this.
What?
If you get into those things, the drinking, the smoking, the sex, all that stuff, the skipping class, you know what I'm saying?
Shoot, you're going about skipping class.
Yeah, you're going downhill.
Don't skip class, freshman.
This important. This is very important for me to say, and I gotta say this, Mo. Just because you get into those things doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Yeah, because that gives me some. Yeah. Because that's what. Yeah, because you can. That can be a downward spiral.
We talked about not judging others, but it's important for you to not judge yourself as well.
Forgive yourself.
Holding yourself accountable is different from not judging yourself. Hold yourself accountable.
People think it's different. They think it's different. You know what I mean? It is different. All right, because people think, I can't judge myself. I'm taking it easy on myself, but you're not holding yourself accountable to any type of standards. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to the Islamic standard, you got to hold yourself accountable to the Islamic standard. Now, some people listening to this might say, "Oh, you guys are promoting this and that." We're not promoting it. What our goal is for you to understand that it can happen to any of you if you aren't in a setting where you know yourself. And college is about understanding yourself, getting to know yourself. Some of us have to experience it and mess up for us to be able to come back like we're doing, and say, this is why you don't do this.
Come back stronger.
Here's the way that you don't do it. And we didn't have that. No. We didn't have anybody to say that. And
I was the first person to go to college. My dad went to college a little bit, but that was in Egypt. You know, there's nobody here nobody else in my family. A few women did, but they were a lot older. I had nobody to tell me game. All my cousins were like, they only see college from the outside or from TV. Nobody was on the inside, bro. We were the guinea pig, sadly, you know. Yeah. But it's okay because
I have no excuse. Like there was a lot of people in my family that went to college. However, I didn't really talk to them about that aspect of college because I didn't know.
But not only that, they don't want to share that with you.
Because they think they share it with you, then it's gonna.
What if they shared it with you? You was gonna see it, know how it looked, and potentially have a way to combat.
Yeah.
If you don't talk about it, it's like, oh, what is this? You know what I'm saying? What is this? And then guess what happens when you're curious? Humans are very curious. Like, what is this? Then you go out there, you start seeing it for yourself, and you start experimenting. But it might be too late. But if you already know what it is from the outside, you have that decision. Like, okay, I know what that is. do I want to do it? Yes or no? Because I know where it can take me.
So I think this opens up the conversation for people who have already graduated, people who were previously in college, to talk to these young people and say, yo,
go back to your high school, man. Talk to the kids. Tell them what's up.
Talk to the people in your masjid.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You gotta talk. We just did
point.
the camp. We just did Camp Khalil, right? Mm-hmm. We're still in. I keep in contact with some of the older boys because I'm like, you're getting ready to go to college. This is what you're going to come into. You may have already been in contact with it, but the reality is, college is a whole nother ball game because you're surrounded and you're alone.
Oh, yeah,
you're alone. Don't get it twisted. If you go off to college, you aren't with mommy and daddy. No. You aren't with cousin. You're not with uncles, auntie.
Best friend.
It's completely different now. So you have to have someone who you can call to and rely on. And I think for us, that was Miss Lena.
Oh, on campus.
On campus, you need someone who you can talk to,
like a mama,
and that's the other
mentor. She's like a mentor for us.
Yeah, I think more so like a aunt, like a mama. Yeah. When I was feeling low, when I really need somebody to talk to, and I didn't feel like going to call my mom, I was like, "Yo, Miss Lena, what's up?" And rest in peace, Miss Lena. Shout out to Miss Lena. Goodness gracious. Yeah. And I think everybody needs that. Whether it's like you need a father figure, you need like a mother figure, you need a brother. You need people who can help steer you and guide you, because it is a time where you're getting to know your place in society. You're getting to know what type of person you are, getting to know your strengths, your weaknesses, and you're just at the beginning.
Yes,
you're just being born at this point in time, and I'm being real. Like you're just coming out of your cocoon. You're not even a butterfly. You're just being sped out of your mama's belly. The umbilical cord just got cut for a lot of you.
Yeah.
So you're finally getting this freedom that's newfound, and you got to figure out how to deal with it. And you need people to help you along the way.
Exactly.
So I think having a balance is important. That's something that a lot of people won't have. Now, if you're at a school, there's a lot of Muslims, stick to your Muslim friends. I strongly advise that. Try and go to Muslim meetups. Try and go to, fun events, planned events.
Yeah, especially if you live in a big city. Say you're in school in Houston, DC, whatever, right? You go on an event, right? And you look at like a Muslim event.
Do stuff that isn't college related.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of people, just because they think they're in college, they always got to do college things.
Well, you know what? No. That's wrong. I think that's stuff that you do once you are like in your junior and senior year. This is for freshman year.
Freshman, we won't even think about going off campus. Like, why? Everything's here,
Well, because it's completely new. It's completely new.
Exactly.
So, like, what they would do was, for the freshmen, they would have like little parties and things like that. So I would say stay actively engaged with student activities, because student activities are going to throw events that are for non-drinkers. They're going to do stuff for people that aren't engaged in that stuff. So the people that you would see at those events weren't always the people you would see at parties.
Actually, and people that saw those events, you rarely see them at parties. You know what I mean? We went to a small school.
Yeah, we went to a small school.
So everybody was everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
We had no choice.
Exactly.
But don't skip out on those events because you think
they're
like
important.
Don't it's not cool. Like if you guys have like a faculty versus student basketball game, go to that. You know what I mean? Like
all this stuff's important.
Like I think it's very important, man, because you bond with the school and it makes it feel like that actually helps out with the college experience. So going back to what Jabril was saying in regards to having that foundation of people helping you, have people on campus, but have people back at home. Have people that you can call. Social media is a lot more prevalent now than it was when we were coming up.
It was just beginning when we got in. It was
beginning, so we didn't have like those communities and those imams and sheikhs that we can hit up on like Twitter and Instagram and hit them a DM if we're going through something. It was more like, all right, bro, I'm going through some ish. Like, come have a seat. Let's talk about it. So
you guys didn't have us.
Yeah, right. Alhamdulillah.
Well, we didn't have us, and you guys have us now.
And we didn't have y'all.
Take advantage of us.
So,
hold on, that sounds kind of bad, but you get what I'm saying.
Stay in touch with us. If you're going off to college, like if there's anything there's something that you can't talk to your parents about, your family about, hit us up. We won't judge. We won't put up a front. We legitimately graduated back in 2013, so we saw it all and some. So hit us up. We are your community. We are your family away from family. If there's weekends that you need to go back home, just go home. Yeah. But I wouldn't recommend that you go home every single time.
No. What's the point? You got to establish independence.
You got to establish that independence.
However, you do need to keep that connection with your family.
And your community back at home. Don't forget about your messages. Don't forget about your people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Because, even though you went out to college, bro, you still You brought me into your message. You brought me into your community. You know what I mean? So alhamdulillah for that.
Yeah, and it's important. You want to continue to nurture the roots that you have.
Ooh.
Because at some point you're going to graduate, whether that's 4 years, whether it's 7 years.
You got to come back. So you blew off everybody, and it's like, oh, look who's back, broke.
Also, you need a job, Johnny.
Exactly, you need a job. Huh?
Yeah. So make sure you continue to nurture your relationships that you were building from childhood up into your newfound adulthood. Continue to have those relationships during the summertime. It's important that you stay engaged with your community back at home.
Oh yeah,
don't just sit in the house.
Yeah, when you come back home.
Yeah. So for a lot of you, you're probably going to work, things like that. Leading out.
We'll probably have another episode for like what to do during summer for college.
Right. Well, but during the school year, make sure you're reaching out to your parents. Make sure you call your mom and dad. Make sure you call your mom and dad.
Often, yeah. Doesn't have to be every day, but like legit.
Bro,
all it takes is a 15-minute conversation. You pull up, you're in the car, you're in your room, call them. And put some headphones on.
If you want them to stay off your back, call your mom and dad
before they call you. So call, like, that's easy. Like,
and
my
don't
mom about
call
to call me, boom, I call them.
And don't call your mom and dad only when you need money.
Exactly, because you will need money.
Call your parents
just to
check up on them. Let them know how you're doing. Because for a lot of you, this is the first time that
you're away from home.
You're away from home, and they're worried. And if you're the oldest, like we are, your parents are like, they don't know what to do because you're the first.
And if you're the first to go, remember your parents are on the fence. Like, so you're an example of whether your sisters and brothers will go to college. So, for example, for me, I feel like if I went off to college and I didn't graduate and I became a wreck and got into a whole bunch of other stuff, what are the chances that my parents would let my brothers go off to college?
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a very good point.
They'll be like, yo, yeah, look how Muhammad went in. That was a lot of money. Yeah, we don't know about the other two. You know, that's, we don't want to go down that path. And for sisters, I'm sorry. I wish we had like a sister on here because there's a lot of stuff that
we can't.
We just can't talk about. I know we're privileged, especially come from an immigrant family. I was given the chance to go to any school around the country. I didn't get in, but I mean, a chance that I'm over here talking
My man got into one school and one school only, and that's real talk.
I'm here, yo. They put all their eggs in one basket for me.
My man showed up like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Where am I at? But no, like, sorry ladies, because we can't relate. I know the mother's gonna be on your back and father's on 24/7 calling you, make sure you're okay. I get it, but at the same time, you guys have your responsibility and your kind of accountability, but also try to have your group of friends. So everything we said can go both ways, but not too much into detail because we can't relate and we can't talk on that aspect. So,
but yeah, these are just some of our tips.
Yeah. Oh, a last thing: when Ramadan comes around, please fast. Do not fake. Fast, because nobody watching it. You cannot fast.
Yeah, that is true.
Just fast.
This is why it's important to have the buddy system in place.
Yeah,
because you're not going to pray. I will say this: I regret certain aspects of college.
Okay.
I didn't pray at all.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if we just had a commitment, bro, like, you know what, just one prayer a day. You know what I mean? Just one. We'd have been all right, man. We just read Jummah and yeah. But anyway, we're trying that now. We're doing a lot better now. Alhamdulillah. Every time we're together, we find a way to pray.
Absolutely. Bro, have the alarm on your phone. Have the Quran on your phone. Have
don't just delete the app because you off now.
Yeah,
you ain't off.
Bro, it's difficult. It is very difficult to remain the best Muslim as you can be when you're not you're not in an environment.
You ain't got your village with you.
Yeah, but you don't have to be.
What you mean?
Because nobody's expecting you to do it. On a college campus, they're like, oh, that's a Muslim kid. Oh, but he's out here. He's with us. He does this. He does that. Nobody's expecting you to do any of that.
Yeah.
But if you uphold your dignity, you uphold your Muslim character outside of just like, oh, I'm good to people, I'm nice to people. If you uphold, like, I make my prayers, I go to Friday prayer, I give my zakat. Like, if you uphold the foundation of being a Muslim while you're in college, you'll do way better than we did. You'll do so much better than we did.
And that's the tips that we're giving you is for you guys to be better than us, excel us. But not only that, not only do Muslims hold each other to the highest regard, but so do non-Muslims.
Because they're going to be looking at you. They're going to be watching.
If you go out there and you do them things, take my word, Christian, Jews, atheists will come up to you and be like, what are you doing, bro? I thought you was Muslim. that you can't drink,
or they're going to think that Muslims can do that stuff, and you're going to be confusing people.
Yes.
So
we have an extra responsibility.
Yeah, you're going to be thinking that, oh, it is what it is. I'm just like everybody else. But at the end of the day,
you're affecting other people too.
Exactly.
Dang.
We
know it's a lot. Take a deep breath. If you're on your way to college right now and you listen to this, we wish you the best of luck, man. We're praying for y'all. Y'all got this. It's not as hard as you think, but you can make it definitely a lot harder than it is. So
yeah,
don't do that. This is the goal. We are giving y'all the keys to the castle, bro. Mm-hmm. And if you got student debt, should we talk about if kids should work or not their first year? What do you think? And then we'll wrap this thing up. Should people work their first year?
Yeah, I guess this is tip number 11.
Yeah.
Try and find a way to hustle. Try to make a little bit of side change.
Even if it's not some money, just find something that you just like, something, because that will keep you a lot of like it will keep you out. It will keep you out of a lot of things too.
Do stuff outside of just studying.
Boom.
Do stuff outside of just being in your Muslim circle. Do stuff outside of your friend circle. Get engaged with the actual school. Stay engaged with, like we talked about, going to the events, but how much time did we actually spend in the activity center? And we're just like, yo, let's grab the football. Oh, let's grab the basketball.
Oh yeah, ping pong.
Let's play ping pong. Make sure you're staying actively engaged
and active.
Keep off that freshman 15.
Oh yeah, no freshman 15.
Yo,
work out.
I think now it's freshman 20.
Right.
Some of y'all coming back big.
Work out, get it in, and whatever you were doing back at home, keep it with you.
Find a routine.
If you're trying out for a basketball team, a soccer team, tennis team, if you do not make it, keep pushing and walk on for those coming out. What you don't want to do is give up and being caught doing a whole bunch of other things because you're so
join
depressed.
clubs. Oh, join clubs. That's big.
Yes.
Make sure you join clubs
or create one.
Yeah, create one. I would suggest join a bunch of clubs.
Year, it's
and then, don't create clubs. Join clubs, and then your junior year start trying to create different clubs that you want. So, look, I know it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm Gucci.
Yeah, we're trying to go over a lot.
I threw it out there,
but yeah, we gave it to you guys as real as we can. And again, like Muhammad said, if you guys want to reach out to us, if you feel as though you still have questions, or maybe you don't like what we said, you have the freedom to message us, DM us on our Twitter and Instagram, which is Young, the letter N Muslim, YUNGN Muslim, Young and Muslim, Instagram, Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook. Make sure you leave comments in the videos below. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And where else can they listen to us, Mohammed?
You can listen to us on all the major platforms on where you listen to your podcast, and that is Google Play, Castbox, Apple Music, what else was it? YouTube, like Jabril was mentioning.
Basically anywhere except Spotify.
Yes, yep. Anywhere. Yeah, exactly. Long story short.
Inshallah, we'll have Spotify coming up soon. We just did a poll. A lot of people listen through iTunes. But we have a lot of people that actually want us to use Spotify. I personally use Spotify, listen to podcasts. Yeah. I use SoundCloud as well. However,
Apple.
I think Spotify is the next level up, and we're on the way.
Yeah, we'll see.
We out. All right, so with that, for the last hour and 2 minutes, you have been listening to the Young and Muslim podcast. My name is Jabril Salam.
And Muhammad Hassan.
And we greet you with the greens of peace.
Asalaamu
Alakum.
Goodbye, y'all.
Peace.
Kill it.
Hey, good luck at college, guys.
Good luck.
I love college.